Welcome to Surya Academics. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. In the previous video session, we have covered what are the various types of risks to the banking industry. And we have already discussed about credit risk, market risk and operational risk through some examples and using a hypothetical balance sheet structure of a bank. Now, in this session, I would like to explain you what is an on-balance sheet item and what is an off-balance sheet item, and what is a spot transaction and what is a forward transaction, and what is the meaning of the net interest margin for the banks. So let us try to cover these 5 topics in this video session, because these 5 topics are also linked to some of these risks. Let us correlate these terms to the risks that are already been covered. So let me explain you. So we want to discuss about the on balance sheet items, off balance sheet items, or transaction, forward transaction. The loan to a customer is on balance sheet, which is actually maybe if the bank has given some 100,000 loans, $100,000 of loan to a customer. But at the same time, if the bank must have given a guarantee to the customer of another $50,000. So basically the loan to the customer is on balance sheet, and any guarantee given to the same customer, which is nothing but the bank guarantee, it is off balance sheet, which means it is not within the balance sheet as of now. In future, if the customer doesn't pay this 50,000 to any other organization to whom the bank has given the guarantee, so in such cases, if the customer fails, the bank has to pay the money, because the bank is standing as a guarantee on behalf of the customer. So therefore, any guarantees, any letter of commitment, any line of credits to the customers or the corporate companies, these are all outside the purview of the balance sheet. These are all examples of the off balance sheet exposures of the bank. So which means in future, because the bank is standing as a guarantee, the bank is committed to honor all these commitments on behalf of the customers. These commitments may become on balance sheet, and the bank is exposed to such type of risks, and these are all nothing but the future risks, and these are affecting the banks, and these are also part of the credit risk factors. So if the customer doesn't pay in future, the bank guarantee will become a liability for the bank, and it may become a credit risk for the bank. Now, so we have seen what is an on balance sheet item, and we have seen what is off balance sheet items. The off balance sheet items, again I am covering for the sake of reference: guarantees, commitments, line of credit. These are all examples of the off balance sheet, which means they are not on the balance sheet as of now, but if they may become on balance sheet in future. Now, after understanding these 2 items, on balance sheet and off balance sheet, let us understand about the forex transactions. The foreign exchange transactions of the banks are 2 categories. One is the spot transaction, and the second one is a forward transaction. Let us understand these 2 transactions with an example. Take the case of an exporter who received $100,000 export proceeds. An exporter has received $100,000 of US dollars, and he is a customer from China. So he has exported some goods to US, and he got $100,000 of check. Now he has got a different currency, local currency, but he has deposited this check into a bank, and the bank has to convert this US dollars into the local currency, and it has to pay the money to him. Now this check, when it is deposited, immediately what the bank will do is, the bank will buy this check. So he is selling $100,000 to the bank. So the bank is buying US dollars, and it is selling the local currency to the customer. Let us assume that this transaction has happened within 2 days. So the bank has settled this transaction even in its books, or even with the customers, in 2 days. And those transactions where the delivery of the currency, it is happening within 1 or 2 days, immediate delivery, those transactions are called as the spot transactions. Generally we use this transaction, spot and forward transactions, in the forex markets, where the currency is exchanged between the bank and the customers immediately within 1 or 2 days, and these transactions are settled. So those foreign currency transactions which are settled within 1 or 2 days, they are known as the spot transactions. And there are certain customers who may need the foreign currency in future. For example, there is an importer, take the case of an importer from US who needs to pay 500,000 GBP pounds to a British exporter. So basically the US customer is importing 500,000 pounds worth of goods from a British exporter. In this case, let us say that the British exporter has given him time for another 3 months. So basically the US importer has got the time of 3 months. So what the importer will do is, he will tell the bank that he needs 500,000 pounds after 3 months. So he will enter into a transaction with the bank saying that I need 500,000 pounds after 3 months. So the bank has to arrange 500,000 pounds to the US importer after 3 months, which is nothing but a forward transaction of 3 months category. So the bank is selling 500,000 pounds to this US importer after 3 months, but the rate is fixed today itself, and this is an example of the forward transaction. Now, why we are discussing this spot transaction and forward transaction is, these two transactions are linked to the forex markets. And in the previous audio session, in the video session, we have already discussed that forex, the movements, the exchange rate movements will adversely affect the balance sheet of a bank. Therefore, any type of these type of transactions, either it is a spot transaction or a forward transaction, the spot transaction may have a little impact, but the forward transaction will have a huge impact in future if there is any adverse movement to the GBP and the US dollar. Suppose if the bank is situated in US, and if it has to sell $500,000 pounds to this US importer after 3 months, and if it is entering into a forward transactions with this importer, and if the interest rates are moving adversely or against to the this forward transaction, the bank may be at risk due to the fluctuation of the exchange rate movements. So what we are saying is, this forward transaction is again an example of the off balance sheet item. As of now, the bank has not sold the 500,000 pounds. It is going to sell 500,000 pounds in future. So as of now, this 500,000 will not appear anywhere in the books of the bank. But there is a risk to the bank, because in tomorrow's date, for example, let us say that the importer says after 10 days or 15 days, please cancel this transaction. So, but because of the instructions of the importer, maybe around 1 week or 10 days before, the bank must have already entered into some other dealer to arrange for this 500,000 pounds, and if the importer suddenly cancels this transaction, this has got a risk to the balance sheet of a bank. So this is this forward transaction, the forward contract, and this is also called as a forward contract in the foreign currency markets. This may create some risk to the bank, and this is an example of the off balance sheet item. This is an example of the market risk affecting the balance sheet of a bank. So basically, we have discussed what are other things, balance sheet items that may create credit risk. So bank guarantees is an example of creating credit risk to the bank. Forward transactions in the foreign currency markets, this is an example of creation of the market risk to the bank. So basically, we have discussed these 4 topics: on balance sheet items, off balance sheet items, spot transaction and forward transactions affecting the banking risks actually. Now finally, let us understand what is net interest margin in the that is applicable for the banking industry. The balance sheet of a bank, if we say, of course actually I am using the T type balance sheet structure. So if we take the case of the liabilities, and if we take the case of the assets of a bank, the bank is raising the funds from different sources. These are all the sources from where the bank is raising the funds, and these are all the activities the bank is taking, the bank is investing. These are all nothing but the assets of a bank. These are all the activities which are generating returns for the banks. These are all the things which are creating profitability for the bank. So basically, the bank, when it is raising funds from these sources, basically the bank is paying some fund to them, some cost is there. So that is why this is called as the cost of funds, and this is called as the these are all the source of funds. So basically the bank has to pay some cost. So there is a cost and which we call it as the cost of funds. This cost of funds is it is actually the expense to the bank. And then when we move to the interest income side, these are all the assets. Let us say that investments are paying some returns, maybe the loans are paying some interest. So basically the bank is getting either profits or the interest. So basically the bank is generating some profits here and the bank is paying some cost here. So the difference between the cost of funds or this is nothing but the interest, this is nothing but the interest expenses, and this is nothing but the interest income. The difference between the interest income and the interest expenses is nothing but the net interest margin for the bank. So basically, for example, if you take the case of the liabilities side, and if the bank is paying on an average, there are different sources of funds, and let us assume that the average cost of funds, of course the bank is raising from different sources, and the average cost of all these things, let us take the case of 3%. So which means for raising any fund, the bank is on an average it is paying 3% rate of interest, and this is the nothing but the interest expenses. And if we go to the asset side, let us assume that the rate of return the bank is able to generate, it is nothing but, let us assume that take the case of 6%. So basically the bank is raising the funds at the 3% and the bank is investing, the bank is able to generate the returns up to 6%. So this is nothing but an income and this is nothing but an expenses, and we are calling this one as the interest expenses and this one we are calling it as the interest income. So the difference between the interest income and the interest expenses is nothing but the net interest margin. In banking terminology we call it as the NIM. So if the NIM is, if the net interest margin is very wide, then we can say the bank is operating with a very good profitability. And when the net interest margin is very thin, suppose let us say that it is the cost of funds is 3% and the interest income is maybe around 4.5%. So the difference is only 1.5%. With this 1.5%, the bank has to take care of all its operating expenses because it is operating with only a thin margin of 1.5% of net interest margin, and this may create in future a problem for the bank. So basically we have discussed what is net interest margin, we have discussed on balance sheet items, we have discussed off balance sheet items, we have discussed about the spot transaction and a forward transaction. With all these things, basically why we are covering all these things is, if you understand the concepts very well, it is very easy for you to understand about the banking risks actually. So with this we are completing our second video session. So far all the points for the FRM examination, whatever that are discussed in the textbook, each and every point is covered in our audio lectures. So please go to our website, please follow these audio lectures. We have created by chapter for all the audio lectures, and these points, every point with example we have clearly covered in our audio lectures. And whatever the topics that are really positive, whatever the points that are actually really important for you to understand, we are explaining through a video session. And if you go to our website, actually that will give you a more idea where actually we are uploading all our audio lectures. Please, I request you to please like our channel. We are calling it, we have mentioned it as Surya Academics. Please like it and share it and subscribe it. Hope you would like these sessions. We are trying to bring the most quality risk management sessions, risk management lectures at a very reasonable and a very easily understandable way. Hope you would all like this, like our efforts. Thank you so much.